What's popping out there in the podcast world? My name is Total Mac, and y'all can't see me, but I need y'all to know this. I'm finer than a grass blade, and I messed up the line. That's all good. Coming to you on a Wednesday. That's right. How can we ain't hit your earlobe Tuesday? Things happen. As my employer would call it, life happens. So here we are. This is the No Pyro podcast. My name is Total Mac, aka TVD Mac, aka Sick Flair. Joined in the building with me, of course, Swervy Lee, aka Two Sub Swerve, aka Swervy Atmos, aka Swollen Pow, FKA Yoko Tuna, aka she got that impossible yopper,
AKA technical difficulties.
aka the ceiling done. What's going on in your world, man?
A whole lot of issues I'm trying to get resolved.
I feel you.
Other than that, nothing interesting.
Soon will be over. Of course, with us in the building as well. No Children, aka EGB, aka the Applebee's Don, aka
Da da da. Da 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 da.
Okay, what was that?
It was that.
It was me snapping the can to John Cena, but I guess I fucked it up apparently.
It was like no effort in there though.
Wow.
It was like the music was fading away, and then you decided to, pop at that time.
So at this point, is Bret Hart just sitting there giving me a 4 out of 10?
Pretty much.
God damn it. I blame Seth Rollins.
As you ladies and gentlemen, this is another episode this week. We are on episode number 106. So thank you for everyone continuing to listen to us through this pandemic, as I like to call it, a candemic, because I've been getting a lot of shit done that I could have did before it, but excuses. So here we are.
Here we are.
You guys got something to hit us off with as far as some banter goes?
I picked up on a few takeout places. Still haven't actually gone to a restaurant just because I didn't really have the time. They've luckily had. What's that?
I said you got the time. You just don't have the will.
No, I honestly just don't really have the time to just sit at a restaurant and eat there. Just because of the fact that I have so much shit going on, it's like I'm just going to take the food home with me.
All right, so what chain takeout places did you go to?
Do I sound like I'm the fucking Ruby Tuesday Don?
You are the chain gang.
Yes.
That's you.
Clickety clack, clickety clack. I am the chain gang.
I mean, if anyone here is prone to stop off at Golden Corral for some pickup, bro, we all gonna say it's you.
Dude, if they put a Golden Corral back in Buffalo, I would fuck that shit up like Buster Douglas, okay?
Hey, listen, I got to join you on that one. I used to love that place when I was working in Albany.
I've never had Golden Corral,
but we didn't have many places also, so maybe that's probably why I loved it so much. It was like a Ponderosa.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't want to say like you Michelle, like, damn, this Thai ramen tastes good. I don't remember it tasting this good because it's the only thing that they offering. That effect.
No, because around here they had that and Old Country Buffet, and Golden Corral is better than Old Country Buffet. Still is. Still is.
Drew, you also strike me as a CC's Pizza guy. Would I be wrong
No.
to say?
I've never had Cece's Pizza.
Okay, my bad. I feel like you would put the macaroni and cheese on the pizza.
No. Well, they probably only serve Kraft, and we all know that I'm a Velveeta person. If it ain't shells, get it the fuck out of here. I want to hear the ocean in my macaroni and cheese.
So here's an update about, we all work. We all have regular jobs. And of course, the pandemic has been affecting a lot of people. A lot of people who are, before the pandemic, they were working. Now they're not. We send Scotty beam me up to y'all to get jobs back and get back out there working, whether it be from the comfort of your home or whether it be on the actual field.
As my supervisor says, working remotely or remotely working.
Well, hey, there it is. So here, Swervy and I, we are 100% at home. And No Chill Drew was at home, but decided to step back into the wilderness.
Yeah.
Took a walk on the wild side.
Was it Drew's decision?
They asked.
Was.
They asked, and I said, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now, why did you say yeah?
You know how I am. I'm raw like that.
All right, ODB. So, did you get a message or some type of alert from your employer saying the work from home will be extended?
Yeah, no, they did. They reached out to everyone else, including myself, to let us know that anyone who is not volunteering to come back in, they gave a timetable of 2021 as a comeback to work date for people.
Now, you going into the office, is this a hard contract you signed, or is it flexible where you're like, you know what, I'm just going to go back home?
Well, it's flexible. All I really have to do is just reach out to my supervisor. Like if I'm like, hey, I got the bubble guts, I'm gonna stay home. That's all I got to do.
Now, have you utilized this I'm going to stay from home option yet? But I feel like you should.
Not really, just because all my resources are at work, and my 2 monitors are at work. Not to give away what I do, but I got 2 monitors at work. For people who have never really used 2 monitors, you don't understand what a difference it is going from 2 to 1, trying to do the same job.
Well, in case you guys don't know, Drew, without giving it away, he has.
Don't give my government. Don't give my government credentials out now.
I said Drew.
Not my name, but don't give away my credentials. I don't want people to follow me and put pieces together. So
Give your first and last name, bro. What I'm saying is, what you do now is what Rocco did on Rocco's Modern Life.
Okay.
Without giving it away. And I mean, he's not going to tell you this, but he likes the fact that his job probably has vending machines where he can easily access a bacon, egg, and cheese hot pocket for $1.75.
Okay, so let's say this much: my office recently moved to a different office. The vending machines downgraded.
So is there like a cafe in there or no?
It's like a cafe. Like, hey, we have seats, but get it out of the vending machine. Oh, by the way, we raised all the prices.
Damn.
It's like a bag of pistachios, no shells, $4 fucking.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I got a different bag of salty nuts I can fucking chew on.
Whoa, that would hurt.
Here we go.
Right. You hear him, right? I bet you he still paid you $4 for them.
I'm not dead, but I wasn't happy about it.
All right, well, voice your concerns with consumer affairs, man. Let's go ahead and get this thing cracking because there's not a lot to talk about other than. Oh wait, your two places. Where did you go?
Oh well, Applebee's obviously, and Applebee's.
Where the hell is the
Variety?
I think you know what? I also went to a local place too, Polish Villa. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I've only heard of them. I don't eat that type of thing.
Oh, I do. It was pretty good. It was
only Polish thing that I've eaten before was guamki, and that was pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's go ahead and get this thing cracking. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Hit us up on Twitter at No Pyro Podcast, No Pyro Podcast at gmail.com. We're on SoundCloud. You can hear all 105 episodes, and then when we post this 106. And you can also go to Apple. We're on Apple Podcasts, and we're also on YouTube. Hit us on YouTube. Leave comments, likes, comments, subscribe, share, do all that. You want to doing shit at home, taking shits. You know what I'm saying? You watching Mila on your mobile device. Cut that out for a couple minutes. Share, like, subscribe, and comment.
Listen, if you're one of the people who subscribe to Quibi and is still paying them, you can hit us up. Like
this time I heard about Quibi. Is there something going on with them?
Yeah, so they had a lot of people sign up for their service originally. And then the free trial ended. And 90% of the people who originally signed up dropped it. 90%.
Damn.
They got Kevin Hart over there. That was a power move to keep people there. I guess they couldn't do it.
Know it.
All right. Well, hey, we won't drop you if you don't drop us. That's all we saying. True. Let's go ahead and break into some AEW.
Okay. So we start off with a 10-man tag. And this 10-man tag was interesting from the start. The reason I say this is because Inner Circle comes out to the Inner Circle music. But their opponents, which was Jurassic Express and Best Friends with Orange Cassidy, comes out to Orange Cassidy's music. So that was interesting.
Mm.
The match was actually really entertaining. You could definitely tell Jim Ross was getting irritated because of the fact that really nobody was tagging in correctly. Nobody was following the rules. And you could definitely hear in his tone, like he was slowly but surely getting more and more pissed off. Taz was on commentary, along with JR and Tony Schiavone. Ricochet or not Ricochet, wow. Excalibur was not there.
Oh,
for reasons we'll discuss. But yeah, you could definitely tell Jim Ross getting pissed off with his entire match.
So, real quick, we haven't heard any displeasure from you, at least, concerning Ross's commentary. Has he gotten better, or have you just not?
Oh no, I have a Jim Ross quote of the week. Don't worry about that.
Oh, you do? Oh, great! I haven't
Okay.
heard those in a minute. All right.
Yeah, don't you worry about that. So I actually watched this episode. I watched this at work.
Whoa!
Yeah. Remotely working. So we get into this, and it goes. Babyface start to take over, and then the heels start to take over, and it's just a mixed bag. Eventually, what's his face? Sammy Guevara gets up on the top rope, looking to put Luchasaurus away. Matt Hardy's music starts playing, and Matt Hardy comes out dressed very much like late '90s Hardy Boy style to push Sammy Guevara off the top rope, leading to Best Friends, Jurassic Express, and Orange Cassidy get the win. This is furthering, I guess, a feud between Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara that I didn't know was going on, but apparently it is. But yeah, they get the win.
So,
and what's that?
Oh, go ahead.
There's a lot of pieces moving forward, and it looks like next week we are getting a 12-man tag team match, which is going to be even fucking crazier. Any thoughts on that match, guys?
They just keep upping the ante, huh?
I guess so. I was gonna ask.
Ooh,
you know,
we got bad echo.
I haven't done anything. It shouldn't be me.
You're the only one not echoing.
Okay, what about now?
Okay, we're good now.
All right, so have they scrapped the Matt Hardy former gimmick or what?
So it looks like they scrapped the broken Matt Hardy gimmick for now. Good. And looks like Matt Hardy had even said that he was kind of disappointed in how it has gone so far in AEW with his broken gimmick. I think that he's still doing it a little bit on being the Elite, but as far as like in ring, it looks like he's going back to his old school style Matt Hardy. I know he's managing what's their face, Private Party, and he's coming out basically to a remix of the old Hardy Boys music. So it looks like he's going back to his old school Matt Hardy days.
Do you like it? Hate it? You love it?
I mean, I've seen it. So I mean, it's nothing where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is cutting edge. I've seen Matt Hardy before. I'm sure that he'll do something to change it up. But right now, I mean, I've seen it. I've seen the style of Matt Hardy before. And honestly, I like Jeff better when the style was going on, so I could care less, I guess.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
So, looking at the next match, we have the AEW TNT Championship on the line.
Fighting champ?
Yeah, the fighting champ. He said he was going to do it every week. So we got Cody against Warhorse, who is another indie darling. Comes out looking a little bit like if Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat 2 had sex with the Ultimate Warrior. Very energetic, coming out to what I'm guessing is WCW style bootleg Metallica. But energetic. The match is really good. Match was solid. If you haven't seen it, I suggest it. These two went. They really told a story. They really played off the whole angle of Warhorse hurting his leg during the match, which then led Cody to getting him into a figure 4 leg lock. This then led to the tap out. So Cody wins by submission. After the match, the Dark Order hit the ring and attacked Cody. Arn Anderson got in the ring thinking he was going to do something. But instead, we get walking talking nepotism to come out and save the day. Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder.
And how do you feel about this, Drew?
Right, here we are again.
Okay. So here's my problem. After he got released, Cody had made a point to go on Twitter and say, Matt Cardona is one of my dearest friends. Unfortunately, being friends with somebody doesn't get you a job automatically. And here we fucking are, giving his best friend a job and having him come in to save the day from a 4-on-1.
Making that man look Lou Ferrigno strong.
Matt Cardona. We're not talking about Steve Austin coming in making a fucking save. Zack motherfucking Ryder, who got I can't even. I fucking. This is the same guy who got pushed off the stage in a wheelchair by Kane.
So what's his AEW ceiling?
I mean, AEW. I mean, he's best friends with Cody, so who fucking knows?
Unless he's there to turn on him and be a heel and take the TNT Championship. But, I mean, I don't know why they keep relying on these WWE implants to make a huge scene. Especially Matt Cardona or Zack Ryder.
This is definitely Cody going, guys. This is my best friend. He's cool. He is my best friend, and he's gonna make an impact.
What if they are setting out to actually prove a point, which they haven't proved yet? But what if they're like, I'm gonna take your worst, lowest ranking character overall, 61, and make him a 99 in AEW?
Well, mind you, here's the thing. Matt Cardona is a guy who can get over. He knows how to get over. If you remember back in the day, he had his internet championship. He had Madison Square Garden chanting his name when John Cena and CM Punk were in the ring. He knows how to get over. It's just he's never had people have faith in him. So now he's in a position where people have faith in him. So now, honestly, if he fails, that's on him. He's got no excuse now. If you get over, great. You proved a point. If you don't, you prove their point.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, Swerve, but I just don't know if putting him over versus other talent is worth it. Because one day I like to go back and watch that video where they were at the Jaguar Stadium and they were introducing the initial roster. And I want to see where all those singles competitors are versus now.
A lot of them are on AEW Dark.
So what's the point of AEW Dark if a guy who hasn't wrestled can come in and just get a job? Or not even a job, get that kind of a spot?
I guess, in my opinion, the point of AEW Dark, is we're paying you. We only have a 2-hour program. So this is us justifying paying you by putting on this program.
Well, I don't know.
It's mind-boggling. It really is. And listen, I will go back and defend AEW a lot. But this reminds me a lot of how Impact Wrestling was back in the day, where you had a lot of these guys from WWE, from cast-offs from there. You had Billy Gunn showing up, getting a title shot. Just all these guys who are just like, man, should these guys really be in this position? And I want to hope that Matt Cardona proves us right and sits there and goes, nope, I was worth it all along. I proved my worth, and WWE was wrong. I am a commodity, and I'll be back, in their offices at WrestleMania in a couple years as a main event guy. I hope, you know what? Perfect world. I hope that that's true. I hope he pulls the Drew McIntyre joint. It's going to happen? I don't know.
So, how many superstars does it take for you to say, okay, AEW, enough?
I'll tell you what. Now, Matt Cardona was definitely like, I expected to see him there. Okay. I expected to see him there just because I know that he is Cody's best friend. If they start taking guys from NXT who are unknown even NXT fans and put them in main spots because they were in NXT, that's where I say we gotta be like, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Like if you're putting Damian Priest in a headlining spot because he got cut from NXT, that's where we gotta go. Okay, enough's enough.
All right, what we got next?
Next, we have the AEW tag titles on the line. Hangman Page and Kenny Omega defending against Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. So, for this match, the Dark Order did come out to the ring. They were standing at ringside. Cole Cabana hopped on commentary with another one of the WWE standoffs. Brody Lee standing behind him, kind of feeding him lines and things that he should be saying. The entire time, Cole Cabana's trying to put over the fact that he thinks that the Dark Order is so great, but he doesn't see all the cult-like atmosphere with them. Like, oh no, these are just great guys to hang out with, yada yada yada. Playing that role, but it's Cole Cabana. He's not really that good at it, so the entire time it just feels like he's just acting. It is a pretty good match. It is ruined by the after match shenanigans. Basically, Omega and Page do get the win, and then Brody Lee sends Cole Cabana to the back so he doesn't see how vicious he is, and then he basically tells the Elite, Page, Omega, and the Young Bucks in the ring that, hey, we have the numbers game on you, and you can't withstand us. He gets a lot of his masked creepers to come out of the crowd. They jump him. FTR runs out with another styrofoam cooler, hits one of them over the head. They kind of even the odds. And so this is how that segment kind of ends. I don't know where they're going to go with this. I don't know where they're going to lead with the storyline of FTR because they keep on coming to their aid when really it should be them trying to feud with Omega and Page. I do like that at one point Brody Lee thanked Kenny Omega for finally coming to his partner's aid. But I mean, it is what it is. Brody Lee is kind of he's not a guy who should be in a top spot. Brody Lee's a hell of a hand. He's a great worker. He should not be in a top spot. Am I wrong to say that?
No, you're not.
You
should not be in a top spot.
I think that he's an incredible talent. I think he's a good in-ring worker. But here's my problem. You can tell how salty he is with Vince McMahon. He is the saltiest bitch I have ever fucking seen in my life. All of his segments on Being the Elite revolve around him just impersonating Vince. Bro, let it go. Let it fucking go. They were good at first. They were funny at first. They're not funny anymore. They're just sad. It's getting to a point where it's just like, okay, you have a problem.
Yeah, it's like that one person's always bringing up the X. It's like, all right, we get it. That's what they're looking.
Elaborate, Swerve. What you mean bringing up the X?
Well, you know how the person's constantly trying to just bring that X into the conversation when no one asked or no one was, talking about anything remotely about that, and you must miss that person, huh? Or you keep talking about that person for some reason, but they keep finding a way to put them in that conversation when it had nothing to do with them. That's what some of these wrestlers sound like, man. They just bitter exes. I don't think Vince is waking up thinking about them. Like I just don't.
Yeah, I don't think that this is getting to Vince's desk at all. I don't think that he has a clue that this is going on. And even if he did, he wouldn't care.
Even like Cody, I mean, their top guy, he's probably like, okay, good riddance.
He sent you to the underboss. You're Triple H's problem now. You're not even Vince's problem. You're competing directly with NXT.
Yeah.
Not Raw, not SmackDown. Let's understand that.
But I will say this, and I will point out this. Raw and SmackDown's ratings have been on a steady decline since the beginning of COVID. A steady and steep decline. NXT and Dynamite have been steadily about the same as they were. So the fans who tune into those shows are still tuning in. The people who are tuning into Raw and SmackDown could give a shit. So that's something to take note of. And that has not fallen on Vince's deaf ears at all.
Well, I imagine what they tried on Monday was some type of, hey, did you see this? So other people who didn't watch can go back and look, and they can get numbers a different way because of what happened. Well, we'll talk about that later.
Okay. And then the next match we had was a non-title match. Hikaru Shida versus Diamante. So I do really like how they are going for more international talent with the women's division. Shida being from Japan, Diamante Puerto Rican. It is very much, international flavor, which is something that they did promise. And they have found people that are not just bleach blonde women from Florida or California to come in and be semi-athletic. I will give them that.
They don't have any Liv Morgans?
Yeah, they don't have. Well, no. Let's back. I'm sure they have some Liv Morgans, but at least they are international. It was a decent match. It wasn't, the best match. It was a decent match. Shida did get the win. And then afterwards, they show backstage, they're talking to Vicky Guerrero and Nyla Rose about the women's tag team tournament that's coming up. And basically, they address it as this. It is not a championship. Like I was wrong. I apologize. They are not doing a women's tag team championship. It is a trophy. It is a cup. It's basically like the mixed tag challenge, except it's just women. You do not pick your partner. Basically, it is a drawing. So you draw a color, and whoever draws that same color is your tag team partner. And they do the drawing for Nyla Rose right there to see who she picks. She picks I don't know, probably like red. I forget the color. But they're like, oh, well, somebody already drew that color. And they bring out Arian Andrews. For those of you who don't know that name, or maybe are like, I've heard that name before. Where's that from? Well, she's from the WWE. She was the Funkadactyl, not known as Naomi. So they brought in Cameron. And Cameron is going to be tag teaming with Nyla Rose in this tournament. When I saw her, first thought is, yep, this is it. This is the low. This is how low we get.
At first, I thought you said Aaron Andrews. I was going to say, wait a minute.
No. And just to point out who this woman is again, she was on the Tough Enough season that Stone Cold hosted. When asked what her favorite match was.
Oh, yes. I remember this girl.
She was the one who said that her favorite match of all time was like, it was like
Raw.
Alicia Fox versus Melina or something. And Steve Austin's like, well, what?
Yeah.
Hey, at least she didn't give up on her dream and created OnlyFans to take the easy way out.
Oh,
that is true.
Like, what's my man, his wife?
Drake Maverick.
Yes. She cold, though.
Yeah, man.
Drew, have you heard about...
If you got it.
Well, have you heard about the game that they're doing on OnlyFans?
No.
All right. So I don't know if you have either, but here we go. So the new game is to get more viewership, to get more sponsorships and subscriptions. What women will do now is they'll take a picture and they'll post it on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or whatever. But it's not the same picture they use from OnlyFans. What it is the picture that they would use. However, they would use clip art. And we know when you had Paint, the program on like Windows 98, and you could change the size of the square to make it bigger to paint over whatever you're doing. They're like using like the second smallest square, and they're just painting their bodies red, white, purple, pink, blue, whatever, to say, hey guys, come and get a sneak peek of what's going on in my OnlyFans. So then they attach a link. The guys say, damn, I want to see what's under that paint. They subscribe. They go to the channel after they paid and look at the same picture, and guess what they have on? Bikinis.
Oh, yeah. No, people have already said that her OnlyFans is basically just her Instagram.
Yeah. So be careful, guys. I mean, if y'all out there paying for it.
First and foremost, let me just say this.
Don't warn them fools. Let them do what they're going to do.
Hey, man.
Let me just say this. If you're paying for anyone's OnlyFans, you are king simp, okay? You are the king of the simps. If you are paying for somebody's OnlyFans, anything that you are paying for on OnlyFans, you can get free on Google, okay? So if you're paying some total stranger, let's say it's not, her, and it's somebody who's not her, who's definitely not as cold.
The only fan I paid for is the one I got at Walmart.
Come on, man. Let's baby window joint. You know what I mean? Little box.
If your fan's not keeping you cold in the summer, you a simp, okay? And you need a hug or something. But come on, man. Come on. God damn. Sad as fuck.
All right.
I'm fine. It's just, that shit's sadder than Old Yeller when I hear about people who are actually paying for shit on OnlyFans.
Hey, man. I don't know what to say. I mean, you got a lot of sites out here that don't even give you stills. They give you video. Number one, that's free as hell. I don't know, man. People's imaginations and inhibitions are real crazy. I didn't know they had money on their head either. But do as you please.
Oh. The next segment that we have, and I can't wait to talk about this, is MJF's State of the Industry Address. So MJF comes out very like, what?
What'd you say?
State of the Industry Address.
Oh, I thought you said something different.
Yeah, so it's his State of the Industry Address. So he comes out very presidential. He's got a podium. He's got, the balloons. He's got, like press people around him. He comes out and says, before I start, I want everyone to make 2 hashtags trending on Twitter. Hashtag MJF 2020 and hashtag not my champion. And then he goes in with everything we've been saying this entire podcast. He says 2 years ago, when we had the big press conference in Jacksonville. Who is doing dishes right now? All I hear is a sink. Oh, fuck.
Just keep going, man.
MJF says about 2 years ago when we did that whole press conference in Jacksonville, and we said, we're starting a revolution. And he said, really? A revolution? This feels more like a dictatorship under the reign of a guy who comes from, quote, land of titans. And then our championship is held by a guy cosplaying as Stone Cold Steve Austin. He says, he's dangerous. He's drawing power. He's ratings. Well, I dare anyone to look at the minute-by-minute ratings, and they'll see that the highest-rated person on this program is MJF. He basically tore Moxley, tore all the WWE cast-offs, said that, if they really want a revolution, they should really be putting the title in the hands of the guy who's going to be leading the company for the next 25 years, not a guy who's going to be here for maybe 2 years and then bounce. So he officially states that he is challenging Moxley at All Out for the AEW World Title.
Valiant, it will result in a loss.
Which sucks, because he is undefeated.
You think it will? You think it will result in a loss?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
The angle's
they put it on him.
I mean, of course you want to put it on him, but I don't think he's ready yet.
I don't know. When he cut this promo, dude, you got to go back and watch this shit. Like, I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Like, there's nobody in the crowd, and like, even like the wrestlers are like, ooh, this motherfucker's going hard.
Well, see, here's one thing with MJF, and I was going to ask this as a question, but I'll make a comment first. I think there's still a little bit more work to be done with his character as far as making him maybe a little bit more edgier, maybe a little bit more asshole-ish.
So here's the thing. Hold
on, Drew.
Yeah, because you said that he needs to be more asshole-ish. During his promo, he had a female press secretary there. At one point, he asked for some notes. She walked over, hand to him, and went, "Hey, do me a favor, smile for me." And she like gave him a smile, and he's like, "There you go. Now you look better." And then made her like walk away. And he made sure to really put in that, because that's something that a lot of like women say like creeps them out about dudes is the fact that they always say, "Oh, you should smile more. You should smile." He made sure to put that in, because I think once he said that, I was even like, that's smart, because he knows that it's going to get some people talking.
Well, I want to say there's a fine line between being an asshole and being a creep or a dick. He doesn't need to do bullish stuff like that. What he needs to do is go to different, I guess, TV shows, maybe go to different areas and just be like an asshole in real life. He's gonna have
You want to stick 2 middle fingers up at children? Or just,
yeah, he's the guy who put a middle finger in kids and got a lot of press for that. Like people were talking AEW.
That's not asshole behavior.
It's not asshole behavior to put your middle finger in a kid's face.
No, it's worse than that. He doesn't have to go to that level.
But he gets buzz. He's one of the few people who are like not WWE cast-offs who gets attention in the company, who gets attention from outside sources.
I'm just saying.
That's what it's all about, man. Buzz and buns.
He can go to Jimmy Fallon. All right, Melvin. He could go to Jimmy Fallon.
Daddy's home.
Right. He can go to Conan. He can go to Inside the NBA. He can just be an asshole.
Problem is that it's hard for him to do that right now because he thrives on that live experience. So him just doing a Skype chat with Conan isn't going to get the same reaction as if he did it live.
Well, see, he's a wannabe Miz. We all can agree. Miz would body that shit.
Is he really?
Yes.
I don't know about that. I honestly do not think that.
Now, I'm better than you attitude to the 3-letter name. The name starting with M. To the trunks, to the entrance. Yes. Him being crowned early, it's yes. Quintessential.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't know, man. I don't think he's ready, and I don't think Moxley has warranted a title drop, in my eyes.
I mean, it's been unfulfilling, really. What was the highlight of his title run?
But Drew, it's hard to have a fulfilling title run in these type of situations with COVID. They shouldn't let the championship drop until COVID's over.
But when does it end?
I don't know.
I mean, you can't just hold your company hostage until, either we find a vaccine or there's an election. Like, you can't do that.
Listen, man, when Kobe's home, you grab the mobile phone.
Right. Not the mobile phone, the global phone.
Yeah, the global phone.
Okay. I just think if companies like, I don't know, let's say WWE are comfortable with Brock holding the belt while there's live action with fans going on, why can't AEW and or WWE again follow suit with having McIntyre and Moxley hold on to the belt in their respective company?
Because at the same time, you can't have the same rematches all the time. You can't keep on beating viable challengers just to sit there and say, well, we don't want to change the belt until there's fans.
So what is All Out?
All Out's like one of their biggest events.
No.
It is like, when?
Yeah.
September.
Okay, so where are you as it stands August 5th right now on the winometer for MJF? Out of 100%, where are you right now?
I'm at 60.
Wow, that's high.
I think you can't beat him because he's undefeated right now. And they made it a point to address it every time that you see him. He's undefeated in singles action.
We're talking about MJF. Is that 60% for you as far as winning the belt? Wow. Okay. I don't see But okay.
Even if it's a disqualification and the belt doesn't change hands, I don't see him losing.
I mean, I don't know. There's other things they didn't explore with him yet before getting there, but I think you have to leave some things for after. So, yeah, maybe he does take it.
So our main event is a
You loud as fuck, bro.
What about now?
All right, you good?
Jesus Christ. Okay, so our main event is Jon Moxley and Darby Allin taking on Brian Cage and Ricky Starks in a tornado tag match, which means both guys in the ring at the same time.
Damn, I never thought you'd have to explain that.
What do you mean?
A tornado tag?
Yeah.
That's kind of a throwback match anyway.
Well, I guess they figure it because nobody obeys tag rules in this company anyways. So here's one thing I didn't like about Taz being on commentary. The entire night, he was basically old Taz. Call matches pretty much down the middle. A little bit of heelish, but, basically for the most part, calling him down the middle, getting along with JR, getting along with Shivani. And then he's expected to get off commentary and be the heel manager for these guys. So Moxley and Darby Allin come to the ring first. And then Brian Cage and Ricky Starks cut a promo in the tunnel, which seemed odd at first. But they're cutting a promo talking about how, they look great and these guys look like freaks and we're going to crush them, yada, yada, yada. Heel talk, heel talk, heel talk. They come out of the tunnel. Darby Allin jumps off the Titantron down onto them, which explains why they're doing their promo in the tunnel. And Taz just goes right back to fucking commentary. It's fucking mind-boggling. It's like he got off commentary, came to the ring with them, hopped back on commentary, and called the fucking match like normal.
Sometimes you gotta wear more than one hat, It's nothing.
So, do they not believe in pre-recording and editing and all of that?
I think that because of the fact that Excalibur left them in a bind, they just went Taz hop on commentary. And like the writers of Game of Thrones, he just sort of forgot he was their manager.
Mm.
So the match ends after Darby Allin pulls out a skateboard with no wheels but thumbtacks. Hops on the top rope and jumps down onto Ricky Starks' back, which shoves thumbtacks into his back. Darby Allin rolls him up for the win. After the match, Allin and Moxley kind of stare each other down, with Allin pointing at the AEW World Title. And Jim Ross announces that they've just heard over the speaker, over their headset, that Allin will challenge Moxley this upcoming week on Dynamite for the AEW title.
So we're gonna get a Rocket Buster of a match. When Moxley
Rocket Buster, Goozle.
I mean, Allin has shot his load, right?
No, I think that he hasn't. I think that he still has a lot more. But is he gonna win tomorrow or tonight? Actually, no, he's not gonna. There's no way he's winning.
We'll see. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, my confidence level on him losing is like 97%.
Yeah.
no way he's gonna win that match. But if it helps with some type of storyline, that'll make my MJF believability go up, because I think MJF is going to get involved in this match, because I think this is just a storyline setup. Then, so be it.
Yeah, I mean, MJF's whole thing is against Ambrose or against Moxley. So if he then goes and has to pivot to challenging Darby Allin, none of the things he's said up to this point make sense now.
Right.
Because Allen's not a cast-off from WWE. He's basically just as independent as MJF.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a State of the Union address for things not to change. Oh, wait, oof. Unless you're suited up Kevin Owens, freshly shaved on SmackDown.
By the way,
can't wait to talk about that motherfucker, because I've been done with his ass. Now I'm really done with his ass.
So, before we get into that, we have Jim Ross's quote of the week.
Oh, quote of the week.
So, every commercial break that they did up until this point this week, Jim Ross would count them down on air. We're going to be heading to a break, folks, in 3, 2, 1. And he literally did that every single break. But there was one break that they didn't cut away at 1. And here, okay, folks, we're gonna come back with that match once we come back from break. 3, 2, 1. I gotta take a piss.
He said that?
Yeah. I think it was right after they talked about the action figures, and they're like, "Yeah, and you're gonna get those in Walmart." Oh, that's great news. 3, 2, 1. All right, I gotta go take a piss. So that is my JR's quote of the week. JR taking a piss on air.
Incredible.
Now then, let's head over to that beautiful land of SmackDown.
SmackDown. Let me go ahead and pull that up. Give me 2.5, if you don't mind. Oh, why is this not? It's not pulling up for me. Like, I see the page, it's just not. It's
While
not.
you do try to pull up, I will say that a few other former WWE talents also showed up for the first round of that AEW women's tag tournament. Veda Scott sat in on commentary. Of course, we had Arian Andrews, and we also had Medusa and Shaul Guerrero show up.
Shaul Guerrero. I'm not familiar with the name.
He is Eddie Guerrero's daughter, who was previously a NXT wrestler. She's also married to Aiden English.
Where the hell is Aiden English at?
He got released.
Shameful. That's
he was one of the guys in that big release that got cut.
That's what they can use on commentary. All right, so Intercontinental Championship. They teased this the week prior. AJ Styles against Grand Metalik. He was accompanied by Lance Dorado. AJ got the win, making Metalik submit. I noticed a lot of these 7 o'clock WCW Nitro Cruiserweight guys are getting looks now. And they're actually doing very, very well. How do you feel about it?
Well, a lot of the cruiserweight guys in WCW did do well. It's just the fact that, you know, they were never given a shot. And I feel like, you know, this is WWE's attempt to sit there and say, we're breeding more talent and we're getting them, we're making more talent. Even though, let's face it, this is not pushing talent. This is, hey, you're on the first spot of SmackDown. Don't fuck up.
Well, I mean, it's a look. It's definitely a look.
It's a look that no one's seeing because no one's in the audience.
Shit, I ain't seeing it, and I'm at home. Moving on, Jeff Hardy addressing his future. After a replay of the bar fight, Jeff headed to the ring. He said he knew he was now in the right path after putting Sheamus behind him. So King Corbin came down and I guess mocked him in some sort of way. And then Drew Gulak came out and attacked Corbin. So now they had a match. So it was Corbin against Drew Gulak, and Corbin got the victory. Boy, have the mighty have fallen.
You talking about Gulak cheese?
My man KC.
He didn't fall. He never rose. Come on, man.
He was wrestling Roman Reigns.
Right.
Oh my God, y'all gotta stop with that. Who you wrestled
on the biggest stage?
Who you wrestling now?
Hold on. The night before.
What do you think a fall means?
In wrestling.
Okay, so out of all the hundreds of opponents he had,
hold on.
There was Roman Reigns and Kurt Angle, right? If you want to even count Kurt Angle, because he was on his way out.
Swerve.
What?
At the Hall of Fame. What was Corbin doing? In the final spot.
I don't remember what he was doing. You said the Hall of Fame. Are you in our Hall of Fame?
No, I mean in real life.
I don't even recall. I don't think I watched it.
He was getting soaked, paused by Triple H. For the DX spot. And he was laughing when he sprayed Corbin with the water. Come on, man. That's audio too, man. That's top billing, man.
Okay. I mean, gold never touched his waist, so that's your idea of top billing. We'll take it.
Hey, you said AJ Styles is the best wrestler in the company, and the man ain't have no gold on his hand or waist or arm or none of that.
Are we comparing AJ Styles to King Corbin right now? Because you don't want to do that. I'll give you a chance to go back in.
I mean, AJ's Intercontinental Champion. That's more than Corbin ever was.
I mean, Corbin was already IC champ, wasn't it? Real life?
I think he was U.S. champ for like a minute.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No, you're right. I mean, no, I'm not comparing the two in a sense. I'm just saying. Let's keep it a G stack.
I said wait for a second. What'd you say?
I said I'm not comparing the two per se.
Okay.
And let's keep it a G stack.
Okay. AJ had a belt recently. I'm not sure if he still has it. He had one. What did Corbin have?
Hey, man, he killed somebody on TV.
He fought the Undertaker since we going by who he wrestled last.
Respectable. That's respectable. I'm just saying, Corbin at one point in somebody's eyes in the back was somebody of importance. But I'm just saying he's fallen since.
There was a time where it looked like he was going to rise when he was going against the Seth and Becky regime, but he had Lacey Evans to carry, so never really went anywhere.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Big E took on the Miz. Big E made Miz tap out.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he had a submission hold.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
He's a big guy. It's probably a full Nelson.
You said what?
He's a big guy, so it's probably a full Nelson. You know how Vince looks at like bigger dudes and is like, "Hey, you're a big muscular guy, full Nelson."
Full Nelson was the move back in the day.
Yeah, every muscle-bound guy had it.
I was a fan of the Full Nelson Slam, especially my man Bull Buchanan joint.
It was the masterpiece.
Moving on, we have Naomi versus Lacey Evans.
Other half of the Funkadactyls.
Naomi been getting some respect recently.
Due to fan uproar.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's going to lead to gold, but I hope so.
And some disrespect from Booker T.
I know, right? That's crazy.
Drew, do you like Booker T?
I like Booker T. I like him.
All right. So, after the match, when Lacey Evans lost, she demanded that Corey Graves make sure that a trending topic goes online. And the trending topic was Lacey deserves better. Look, I know y'all listening to this motherfucking podcast, because how many times have we said he or she deserves better?
But we've never said Lacey deserves better.
No, yeah.
I was about to say, I don't recall saying that one.
Yeah, let's be clear, New York. We have never said that about Lacey Evans. I know it's COVID and you got to wear your mask when you get to the barbershop, but I don't know if that happened when Sonya Deville attacked Mandy Rose, because apparently Mandy Rose promised to take Otis out after SmackDown to his favorite barbecue place. Now, I don't know about y'all, but who the fuck is eating barbecue at 10 o'clock at night, like full throttle 4 p.m. barbecue?
Otis.
I might.
Hey, man, good luck, because you putting down
what else you got to do after that but fall asleep on the couch?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, though. If you're going to a barbecue at 10 o'clock at night, you're getting some skunk-ass barbecue.
Oh, you said going to one? I thought you meant just eating something. Oh, I don't know about that.
Going to a barbecue.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to a barbecue. I'm already there. If it's
So she wanted to take. Well, I guess it's a barbecue restaurant. Let me make that clear. I don't think I can eat ribs at 10 p.m. I mean, I could, but I don't think I want to go out to do that.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't you and I go to a barbecue joint late one time on Saturday?
Yeah, I didn't think it was late.
You didn't think it was late? What time was it? 8, 9?
Hey, man, you want here to put my business out here in these streets,
man. I mean, listen, it was dark. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, man, the hell is hot, man. What you saying? I don't know what I got. It might have been chicken wings. I don't know if it was ribs.
Oh, okay, so I hear you, man. Dissect it any way you need to.
you know how I do, baby. Come on, man. I know you said it. So I don't think they made it to the barbecue place because she needed to freshen up. And then Otis went to go find his tag team partner, Tucker. So while Mandy Rose was freshening up, Sonya Deville said, I got something for that ass. And she took a pair of scissors and cut Mandy Rose's hair, cutting off chunks. So I don't know, she probably had extensions in and cut the chunks of the extensions off. But this has been brewing for a long time. Since like before Rumble. Fellas, anything? No, nothing.
That's I mean, I'm sure it's probably just a weave, but how many times are we gonna get this catty bullshit of I cut your hair? It's probably gonna culminate in a hair versus hair match too. Is what we're gonna get.
Well, we'll see. Speaking of how many times are we gonna get, SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley took on Nikki Cross. Bayley defeated Nikki Cross. This was for the Women's Championship, by the way. So, I mean, whatever. I'm done with Midian. I was done when she started. And that main event is SmackDown.
But that led to the way that SmackDown went off the air.
Oh, yes.
Which is Midian shoving Alexa Bliss to the ground and walking off, the lights going out, and the Fiend showing up. And doing some shit with his hand before locking in the mandible claw on Alexa Bliss in a segment that my girlfriend called, quote, kind of rapey.
He was throwing up gang signs?
He kind of was. It looked like it a little bit. Like he was like making like, oh, open the mouth for the airplane, and then just like shoved it in her mouth.
Just put it in your mouth. I said, what was the purpose of that? Is it because Alexa is Braun Strowman's work hubby?
I think so.
Or work wife?
I think it's possible. That or he's going to try to make her actually Sister Abigail. Who knows? I don't know. Who knows with WWE?
All right. Well, that was the end of SmackDown. Before we get to Dirt, I gotta ask, because the two of you are idiots.
Wow.
What did you think of today's event? This is not wrestling related.
Today's event?
Today's event. Happened earlier today. Some things were unveiled.
Oh, Drew, he's being a hater.
I'm not, because I watched the dude that I hate watching because he got a lot of shit, but I watched it and I was quite impressed with what I saw.
What are we talking about?
You just called us idiots.
Well, yeah.
He's talking about the Samsung event.
Oh,
when they unveil the most important products in the world, and then Apple waits 3 or 4 years to take on the things that they did.
Yeah.
What I will say is, Apple, y'all better get in y'all bag because Samsung in the bottom of their shit. I will say that.
Well, Mac, let's put it this way: it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. They could put out literally the same phone they did last year, and you'll still fucking buy it.
Well, I'm not switching because I'm team iPhone, but I'm here to say now I don't have hate for Samsung. I used to. No, I don't.
Well, hey, you know what? all those features you look forward to in the next 5 years.
I mean, I like that
on the iPhone 23.
The Note is a little bit. That's the big phone for me.
Yo, on a side note though, when they do get the iPhone 23, Jordan gonna be on that joint. That's gonna be crazy.
Shut the hell up, man.
But yeah,
Yeah, it's
I will
cost the same price as Jordan's.
I will be having the Note 20 Ultra at some point. Hopefully this month.
Whoo, wait, you got that type of paper, cuzzy? 13 though? Ooh, that's a lot. $12.99 for that phone. I don't know, man.
You know how it works. I don't have to pay $12.99.
I know who I'm talking to, but that's just a lot of money.
I've got an S8.
8, you 12 phones behind, bro? The fuck?
If you honestly think I'm going to be spending $1,300 every year on a new phone, you are out your goddamn mind.
I forgot who I was talking to.
I am frugal as a motherfucker.
I forgot who I was talking to.
If somebody came up to me and says, hey, you have $10,000 to start up a wrestling promotion today, who are you going to sign? I'll say, I'm going to fold that son of a bitch. Take my $10,000. Goodbye.
That's amazing.
Yep.
I missed it. That's 8. Huh. All right. Well, I'm glad that Swerve you watched. I like iPhone.
Listen, man, it was hard to do. I had to watch during a meeting. I couldn't even have the volume up.
Well, you go back and watch it.
That was cool. I saw what I needed to see. You know what I like best about that event?
What's that?
They gave you everything you needed to know in one event. I don't have to wait 13 more events like we are with PS and Microsoft.
Oh my god.
Oh, speaking of that, did you guys see what's happening with that Avengers game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where it's like, hey, you could play it on Xbox, PC, and Sony, but you can only play Spider-Man on the Sony one. Good luck.
He's like the third most important character in the Avengers.
Yeah. Also, anytime they release new content, Sony gets it first. If you're a gold member.
Well, Xbox has been doing shit like that for a while.
Yeah.
But they took the pressure off, man. They stopped doing those kinds of cutthroat practices, and people feel a way about it. So,
well, Sony don't. They have EA Access now too, don't they?
Who? PS?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know if they have EA Access. Yeah,
I don't know about that, but I do know that even Sony fans are kind of scratching their head at that. Like, that's a bad business practice. But it basically comes down to Sony was the only one to give them money. They're like, hey, if anyone wants to give us money to like get an exclusive character, and Sony is probably the only one who actually put money into it. So,
is the game worth it where Spider-Man is deciding your console fee?
I think it's another thing where it's like Sony's looking for any edge that they can get over Microsoft, because I think that they know that they kind of learned from their mistakes last time. That's also why we haven't heard any prices. It's kind of like sweating. It's like, I don't think they're going to make the same mistakes they made last time.
If you have both systems, I think you're going to pick the platform where it plays best and operates best. I don't know if one character is going to do that. But if you're just a diehard Spider-Man fan and you just gotta have him, then you're gonna have to pick Sony. The PC community, they can just mod a Spider-Man; they'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, though. I mean, yeah, it's what plays best, but are you gonna spend the same amount of money on less features?
I think those features you're talking about are timed, but Spider-Man probably is not. So I think those, like Call of Duty and things like that. They get map packs first and all that kind of stuff. You can play it for a month, a couple of skins here and there. Not a big deal.
Yeah, everything else is going to be just Sony first, and then Microsoft and PC gets it. But I don't know. I mean, with Spider-Man, am I going to play this? Am I going to pay the same amount for the game on one console that's not going to get all the features that the other game's going to get?
I mean, yeah, unless they have something in the works for them, because they have not spoke up about that yet. I don't know, but it was like that with Mortal Kombat 11. I mean, they had God of War, and everybody else didn't have anyone.
Yeah,
True.
and it wasn't that big of an impact.
But at the same time, God of War is their character.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, though. Is it's like, yeah, it's God of War. It would be different if you said Sony players are the only ones who get to play with Sub-Zero.
That's kind of what this is.
And I think it's foolish if you're letting a DLC console exclusive thing from happening to prevent you from making a sane decision. Like, if Sony is pulling you based on this, I don't know. You might not be.
They do it because it works on some people. If it didn't work, they wouldn't do it.
Well, I don't think this is going to be a main selling point. What this really is it's like, if you're one of those people that's like 50-50, like you're like, it's going to come down to the very end. I don't know which one to pick. And they're hoping that this is almost like a tipping point. Like, this is just that little droplet in the glass to just hit the scale enough.
I think they did this dumb shit too because they're like, hey, we already got the momentum of Spider-Man Miles Morales. Let's go ahead and cap it off with this.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to.
They're just monopolizing that Spider-Man market.
That's like if 2K came out and they're like, hey, a PlayStation exclusive, you could play with, I don't know, Davey Boy.
Tom Brady.
Right. It's like, who cares?
2K does have an exclusive right now. It's that $10 price hike.
For that NBA Jam game they putting out? I don't know, man. We can. I swear, you said this last week, man. I can talk about this all day.
Yeah, I mean, what 2K game is going to be coming out for NFL because they got the license, but they can't do a simulation. So it's like, what game are they going to make for football?
Well, I think it's something like an NFL Street type of thing.
I was gonna say I wouldn't mind seeing NFL Blitz.
Either that, or I can also see some like NFL head coach come back.
Oh God, no.
They also got permission from the NFLPA to use some names because I think they also need the NFLPA on board.
Not some names, all names and faces.
They got all? I thought it was some.
No, the PA gives all. If you get PA's permission, it's all.
I have to look that up because I thought they got some, not just all.
I think that when you get the license from the Players Association, it's all because they're all under that Players Association.
It is all. It is. They got a partnership with the NFLPA.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be a street type of game. If it was NFL 2K, like 5, oh, man, Madden would be so done. It wouldn't even be funny.
That's why EA made sure to sit there and say, you can't do a simulation-style game.
Madden would be over. You hear me? There is not one Madden apologist in the world. They even somebody who works for Tiburon, they're not going to back that game. If 2K comes out, it's over. John Madden's going to be rolling over in his grave.
I think he's still alive.
You know, I have to say something because a lot of people say comments like that after I say this. I need you to understand. I watch a lot of Inside the NBA on TNT, right? And one of the jokes is Charles Barkley or Shaq may say, such and such rolling over in his grave. And they're actually not dead. So I've taken that and I've incorporated that into my everyday jokes, if you will. And I'll say that and I know the person isn't dead. I don't want to say, damn, Mother Teresa rolled over in her grave. Because I think that's kind of messed up. So whenever I say that, trust me, 1,000% the person's alive. But that might be the shit that take John about this motherfucker. Because John been getting paper off that game for years.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. You know, back in 2005, you could debate it because they got the hit stick just introduced. Man wasn't shit yet. It was still pretty good. And it was competition. And you could have easily taken the shit that they had in 2K5 and put it into your game. But instead, you went, no, fuck that. We're the only game in town. We don't need to put that shit in our game. In fact, we're going to get rid of features.
Dude, halftime show. The off season was good. You had the fucking music.
Chris Berman doing fucking Sports Center, talking about games that you didn't even fucking play.
Don't get me started. There's somebody right now on God's green earth, I am not kidding you, who has this game. And what they do is they update the NFL rosters to this day. It's
not just somebody. There's a lot of people that do that.
Like my man, what's my man's name? Deontay Wilder. To this day, they go on there and they edit the roster to make it lifelike. And you got somebody playing a 15-year-old game who won't give up and is importing rosters for people who are actually playing today. That says something.
Well, you know I killed that game, right?
For $20?
$20.
Yep.
They sold that game brand new, $20, and the NFL stepped in and says, that makes our product look like shit. If somebody's selling their product, if somebody's selling something with our shield on it for $20, when all the other sports games are selling for $60, because Madden had to bring their price down then too. Yep. So they said no, and that's why they actually went to EA and offered the exclusive license.
Not to that money. I'll never forget it. Because if 2K was games back then, 49?
No, it was still 60 back then.
2K5?
No, 2K5 was $20 when it came out.
No. Madden 05? No, Madden 05 wasn't $60.
Madden 05 came out and it had to drop down to 40 because of the fact that 2K was 20.
Well, if 2K was 50 or 60, then damn, life is different.
I still would have bought it. I still would have.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm buying a preview. Fuck that. I'll buy a demo.
Oh, well, don't hear you say that.
Shit. Nah, on some real shit, they came out and said, play the simulation demo for 2K. I'm buying it.
Yeah.
Oh, no bullshit. I'm buying it.
But you got to also remember 2K is a different company now than it was in 2014 or 2004 rather. Now it's all about their VC and getting that money and getting that extra money out of kids by making them fucking go into online casinos.
Yeah.
So it might not be the same game that we remember if they release it today. It might be a bunch of loot boxes and a bunch of, ultimate teams, just like Madden.
I was going to say, with the rise of Ultimate Team, we could be in trouble.
Because NBA 2K got on that train, and they have legit fucking casinos in their game. I mean, fuck, you got to pay $20 for a haircut. $20 in real money, pretty much, for your creative character to get a haircut.
That's insane, man. Even in Grand Theft Auto, not that bad.
Yeah.
That's because 2K showed you what life is like pre-corona. They said, "Oh yeah, our motherfuckers gonna be outside for real." We doing this in the house now. I don't know, man. I know this much. We got an event coming up from Sony probably within the next couple weeks.
Yeah, should be August.
I'm excited. What did you say, Swerve?
I said there's supposed to be a PS4 one really soon and a PS5 one later on.
Why would they do a PS4 one?
You got 120 million consoles. You gotta keep people happy.
Okay.
Is my only guess.
You want to get it in the dirt?
Yeah, I'm ready to get into some dirt.
All right.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
All right. So a couple weeks ago, Eddie Kingston challenged for the AEW TV title, and he made a very good impact. So good, in fact, that AEW has actually signed him to their full-time roster. So Eddie Kingston is officially a member of the AEW roster now.
All right.
He did
So-
total impact though.
Yeah, he's not on Impact. I'm sorry, is that what you said? I couldn't quite hear you.
Yeah, so he didn't make a total impact, but whatever.
Rusev made an announcement. He announced that he is officially done being a wrestler. So he has decided to retire from the ring and become a full-time Twitch streamer. And literally the day after he made that announcement, he got banned.
For what?
His wife.
For violating their terms of service. So Twitch has some stupid terms of service. They also pick and choose who they police for this. Case in point, they do have a decency service where Twitch streamers or anyone else on camera cannot be in their bathing suits. So when Lana showed up on his stream in a bikini, it violated their terms of service. He has since been back, so I guess he got unbanned. But yeah, that was pretty funny that literally the day after he announces this, they fucking ban him.
Gotta love it.
People that watch the stream need to focus on the game, not Lana.
Good luck. SummerSlam news. So Boston is out for SummerSlam. It's officially out. However, they have mentioned that they are rumored to be looking into a different location. Any thoughts on what that location could be?
Cruise ship.
You say cruise ship? What about you?
Boston is out. I'm gonna say Madison Square Garden.
You're close.
Damn.
They're looking into Prudential Center in New Jersey. Now, as far as if fans will be attending, that is not known yet. They may try to get some capacity in there, but because of the fact that the coronavirus has kind of been on the downward slide in that area, they're looking into that as being a possible site for SummerSlam this year.
Well, they better put on a good show because that shit could be a sight for sore eyes if people actually show up and it's bad wrestling.
That's true. Brandy Rhodes is talking about debuting a new platform for female wrestling fans called AEW Heels. It's a platform where basically female wrestling fans can come in, they can watch content, they can comment, they can do forums without really worrying about fear from, male trolls or anything like that.
Hold on, I got a problem with this. It's 2020. It should be equal for everybody.
Well, unfortunately, you do get a lot of dirtbags who are like, female wrestling fans. Oh yeah, what's your favorite match? Name Andre the Giant's birth year, like that kind of shit. Because you do get a lot of neckbeards. However, they are charging $49 a year for the service. So it'll be pretty much. One thing that was discovered is Raw. You may have noticed that Raw may have been a little bit sloppy last week. Well, it's because it was thrown together at the last minute after Vince McMahon basically tore up the script and had a 4-hour meeting with the writers where he basically reamed them out. Apparently, Vince McMahon has been, quote, volatile backstage. People aren't sure if it's because of what happened with the XFL or because of the ratings dropping so hard. But it looks like he is on a very short fuse with all of his writers, tore up the scripts, and basically just put the show together live.
For the people who don't know, let's get to that XFL news, why don't we?
Yes. So the XFL last week was scheduled to go to auction, where they're going to be auctioning off the different pieces of property for the XFL. And right before the auction was set to start, it was completely bought out in one fell swoop by an investment group led by The Rock.
Can I just say something, Drew?
Yes.
Kane is in the building. If anybody has seen the show Ballers, they know what I'm talking about.
So it's led by The Rock and his ex-wife. They run the production company and a lot of his business studios together. They've been business partners since they were married. They've stayed good friends and business partners. What it looks like is that the sale took place for roughly $17 million. And The Rock's business group, along with the investment firm that they bought it with, let me pull up the name of the investment group. They split it 50-50.
It's ran by Joe Crutel.
Question for you guys.
Yes.
You guys are both in relationships.
Yes.
Could you handle if Bae was still in all these relationships with her ex?
Yes.
Could you handle it?
Just because of the fact that if they have a daughter together, obviously they're going to be partnering. But here's the thing.
You answered too fast. What about those long office hours? They ain't got nothing to do with the child.
I think that may have been part of the reasoning why they ended up not being together in the first place. I don't know. I don't see The Rock as that type of person. By the way, the investment group is called Redbird Capital. But yeah, I honestly, if I was the new wife, I wouldn't really have that big of an issue.
An important question to ask is, what am I getting out of this?
Well, you're married, so you get half of whatever he's making.
No, I mean,
and I'm not asking from a wife's perspective. I'm just asking if your bae, your girl, was doing that, because women, you typically just sit there and take the money because,
See,
But
for
with
me,
men, it's
I'm not
ego
that
involved.
I'm not that jealous, so I wouldn't really care.
Am I getting tickets somewhere? Am I getting some type of stock action? What are we doing here?
So what you saying is, Mac, is that you could be bought. You could be silenced as long as the money's good.
You know,
That's what I'm hearing.
that when you put it like that, you know, choose your words wisely, young man. I can't be bought. I'm just saying, for the overall sake of the relationship, I got to be taking something home too. And it's got to be different than what you bring in money wise and your caboose. It's got to be a little bit more.
Well, did you see?
Stashing his money for like getaway money?
Shit, not even that. Or not, excuse me, not even just that, but I don't know. It's got to be something that I can walk away and be like, shit, at least you got this. You know what I mean? What are you about to say, Drew?
Did you see who mentioned that they wanted to play in the XFL next year?
Who's that?
Wale.
Wale also said he wanted to host Ellen's new show because she's toxic as fuck.
Who would have known?
Me. I don't let
Drew, I'm proud of you.
Why?
Because you said it the right way.
Thank you. I'm learning. I'm a slow learner, but I learn.
I was expecting to hear whale or something, and you didn't do it.
I don't appreciate, she has those liar eyes. And she has those we're gonna do what I say and everything goes type of eyes. She can stare at you and she can make like everything's all right, but it's really not. She's a good manipulator. Those are manipulator eyes. Y'all not feeling me on that.
No, I definitely feel you on that because you could definitely tell a lot of the shit that she says just sounds ingenuine.
And I just don't care because I never cared about Ellen DeGeneres, so we can move on.
Yeah, I'm Swerve. My
bad. Swerve's not about that life. There was a segment on Raw that we will touch on, the Underground segment. Apparently, there are two people in pro wrestling that say that this idea was stolen from them.
Here we go. Who was
EC3, when he did his promo after he got released, the visuals on it looked eerily similar to what WWE used. And Josh Barnett says that his Bloodsport event that he always hosts every year, right around WrestleMania, was a similar concept to what they use on Underground. And then
EC3.
What's that?
I said people still check out for EC3 and similarities.
He shows up. He makes sure that he shows up.
No one cares. No one cared about EC. Even when after Mania, his name and face went up on the Titantron. No one's cared about him then, and no one cares about him now.
Wait, he's back where he belongs, man. He's back where people care about him.
Whatever. I don't care about that, man.
With this last piece of dirt, I have a question for you guys. Let's say you're a pro wrestler and you have your social media. What do you use social media for when you're a pro wrestler?
I'm going to apply this question to all forms of entertainment. If I'm using my social media, you ain't getting nothing but bland, generic comments out of me.
Okay. What about you, Mac?
I'm setting up late night hotel booty calls.
Okay, late night hotel booty calls, generic bland conversations, maybe some merch that you're trying to whore out. Maybe your booking details. But you know what? All those ideas are 2020 thoughts. But Marty Jannetty's not living in 2020.
So wait.
Marty Jannetty's living in 3020, where social media is used the proper way. And that is to nonchalantly confess to murder on Facebook.
Hello, G-Dep.
Wait,
This is the news story today that had me going, what?
right.
Did you read?
Was it like a double murder? Like he killed somebody twice?
Did you read the what he said?
Let me pull it up.
No, I have it right here. I have it right here.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. So first off, before I read this, I do want to just stress to our viewers. I'm going to read the quote exactly like he put it in. So he does have some wording that may offend people. This is not my wording. This is Marty's wording. Send your hate mail to Marty, but stress and be careful because he is known to kill people.
How you make them feel? We know what happens to people like that.
So here's what he said. He says, "I never told no one this, even my brother Gino."
All right, pause. So is he talking to? Because he's got to be talking to some girl. Because only time shit like this, he's talking to a girl.
There's a girl in the photo.
Yes, there is a girl in the photo.
All right, but we'll get to her in a second.
Yep. Yeah. So as a background, there's a girl in the photo with him.
So he's talking to social media.
Yes. He's putting this on his social media, talking to her, which is the most boomer thing to do. I never told no one this, even my brother Gino, because Gino would have killed him. And I didn't want my brother gone. Hell, he'd only recently come home from Vietnam. I was 13, working at Victory Lane's bowling alley, buying weed from some fag that worked there. He put his hands on me, dragged me around the back of the building. You already know what he was trying to do. That was the very first time I made a man disappear.
All right, pause.
Yeah.
So he accuses him of being homosexual. And he says, well, you know what all homosexuals do, right? They force themselves.
Well, he said that he was trying to rape Marty.
Right. All right, good.
That was the very first time I made a man disappear. They never found him. They should have looked in the Chattahoochee River. But Winnie, this is the girl in the pics, I likes you too damn much. Probably my favorite. But I promised myself way back then, nobody would ever hurt me again. That includes you. I loved you, but you hurt me. With your fucking Jamaican jealousy. You can go your own way. I don't need you.
You can go your own way.
So the man said he killed the man. If I could just kill a man, when he was 13, and then he liked Shorty so much he had to body her.
He also followed this up by saying that he got satisfaction from it. So, yeah.
I would ask how he got hired, but those are different times. So.
Oh yeah, no. You got to remember, Marty Jannetty, when he first got hired, got fired like just as quick, and then got rehired like a year later. He's definitely had substance. What's that?
I want to give Shawn Michaels the side eye, but he has some good matches with Undertaker, so I'm gonna look the other way.
Well, Shawn Michaels already gives people the side eye. So I guess the police are now investigating this post. The Columbus, Georgia police are investigating it as a homicide. They're speaking to the cold case division.
And they wouldn't do that if it wasn't actually people missing, right?
They have a lot of people in cold case. So, it's something where they're reviewing all their cold cases, seeing if anything matches what he's talking about. Like as far as like a Mexican guy or something.
Yeah.
What an idiot, Marty Jannetty.
And
Well,
then,
get back.
oh,
Maybe the man was trying to clear his conscience. I don't know. But
well, no, because here's the thing. In the comments, somebody asked, "Are you okay?" And he wrote, "Me and Winnie just had a fallout. But if you're asking about the other thing, yes, that was a billion years ago. Plus, I had the satisfaction of knowing that bitch ass ninja, and he, for some reason, censored the I in ninja. Never got to do another kid like that.
wow.
So he's just straight up talking about murdering this dude. Like, there's a statute of limitations on murder.
You better go see Tommy Lee Jones, man, about that double murder movie or Double Jeopardy.
Now, this guy, remember, he's definitely had some substance abuse issues. He's had some problems in the past. I don't even know if the story is even true. It might be something where he just made it up in his head because he's had issues. But yeah, it looks like him and his girlfriend had a falling out, and that has led him to confessing to fucking murder. He hasn't murdered the girl. The girl's alive. She's good.
The one in the picture?
Yeah.
I thought she got killed too.
No, it looks like he was just like flexing on her, like, I could kill you, bitch.
Wow. Marty Jannetty. You better hope Vince is still in his good graces, because all Vince got to do is walk into a precinct with a briefcase and then just walk out.
Yeah.
We know how that goes. Okay.
Somebody's got their ass whooped.
Yo, don't pay attention to what's going on outside, man. Let's wrap this up.
What the fuck with nobody?
Gotta stop waiting on you, big dog. Shorty, y'all
Nah,
dogs.
but I don't know how it's gonna get outside. I don't want to know the podcast.
Yeah, I thought we was at my crib for a minute, man.
Just rolled up.
Damn.
So that's all I got. Yeah, that news literally just blew me the fuck away when I read that. I had to take a double take. Like, I'm sorry, what about Marty Jannetty? And fuck.
Shawn Michaels' personal interest, man. Can't wait. You know it's coming.
Yeah.
Have you heard Marty express these thoughts in the past? Shawn, tell the truth. You are a man of God now, remember.
All I know is Marty has a lot of demons, but he's made a lot of angels too.
Fucking Shawn. That's it for dirt, you said, correct?
Yeah, that's all I have. I can't top that.
Yeah, no, not many people can. Do you have Raw pulled up, or do you need me to get it pulled up?
I'll try to pull it up. I usually have a hard time pulling up a Raw because, let's see.
I'm ready to talk about the Call of Duty Warzone gulag that they was running.
You don't pull up when you pull out.
Man, what?
That
You talking about?
section.
I heard what you said.
Okay, so yeah, I got it pulled up. So
down like a backwood, bruh.
So first thing we have is Apollo Crews and MVP was promised at the horror show at Extreme Rules, but a storyline injury prevented Crews from competing. While the contest is unlikely to be a classic in-ring encounter, it should continue the ongoing growth and development of MVP's Hurt Business faction, also involving Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. Drew McIntyre and Orton face-to-face confrontation should be interesting. Basically, that's just a rundown of what's going to be happening. But we do have the U.S. Championship match, Apollo Crews versus MVP, to determine the United States champion undisputedly. And then with Apollo Crews getting the win, was not, a great match, but it was a match you can expect from Apollo Crews and a 50-year-old. MVP cut a promo blaming the lighting issues and unsafe working conditions, and then issued a rematch challenge to him for SummerSlam. The next thing that we have is Asuka and Shayna Baszler send messages to the quote golden role models. Apparently the blonde talking head lady in the back is named Sarah Schreiber. So that's something I found out. Joined the golden role models for a backstage promo. Sasha Banks and Bayley threw it to a video package. They recapped the victory Sasha Banks had over Asuka for the Women's Championship, and ended with Asuka promising that revenge will be sweet. From there, Shayna Baszler interrupted and said she has a problem with what Banks did because she has waited in line long enough. She decked Sasha Banks, leaving her on the ground before she walked off. So it's very muddled, but it looks like Shayna Baszler is going to be next in line for Sasha Banks. The next thing that we have,
she gonna take another L.
Shayna Baszler's all about those L's.
Jesus,
I thought it was going to be Bayley and Sasha.
Now I want to pass it over to Mac for this one, the KO show.
Let's talk about Kevin Owens for a second. For those who heard Drew say we'll get the Excalibur, we'll be getting to his ass. Because there was a video that resurfaced online of, correct me if I'm wrong, Drew, an indie show?
Pro Wrestling Guerrilla.
Where they were jawing at one of the superstars who was wrestling that night. So he's in the ring.
It was basically their opponents, their tag team partners, shooting a promo against their opponents.
Right. So they're on, I don't want to call it the backstage, or it was weird how it was set up. It was just like some random area that they were in, but they were in earshot with the microphone of the wrestler who was in the ring, taunting them on the top rope. So Kevin Owens is there. I didn't hear him get on the mic, but Excalibur, who was standing next to Owens, had a microphone in his hand, and he uttered a particular 5-letter word.
Was it 5-letter? I thought it was 6 letters.
Depending on who you talk to. 6-letter word. Oh yeah, it was like arithmetic.
He didn't end it with an A. It was hard R.
It was hard as hell. Hit him with the hard R. Twice. Fuck him and fuck you, Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens also dropped a slur, a Hispanic slur against his tag team partner. So let's say it for the record. Fuck you, Excalibur.
Yep.
Fuck you, Kevin Owens.
Yep.
Fuck you, Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Because child molesters can go right on that. Yeah, so Excalibur has been taken off of AEW. Yep. Well, he's not fired. Definitely, he's not fired. Basically, it's looking like they're going to keep him on there until the heat dies down. He's claiming that it was one of the owners of the company pressuring him to be quote unquote edgy.
Yeah, fuck out of here, bro.
Here's the problem. Excalibur was not just talent. Excalibur was co-owner of that company.
So when you say owners, you talking about himself?
Well, one of the other owners, because there were 6 people who own the company.
Yeah.
One of them was Joey Ryan, so it shows him what company he keeps.
Idiots.
Let's just put it right here. I understand that there's heat, that you want to get some cheap heat, and I respect the shit out of cheap heat. That's not cheap heat
at all.
That's just not needed. It's dumb as fuck, because the only thing you're doing is burying yourself when that shit comes back to bite you. Nobody's gonna remember who the fuck you were saying it about 10 years from now, but they're gonna remember that you're a piece of shit for saying it.
And I watched the video and I heard the word. Bro sounded like he wanted to get that shit off his chest. Like he wanted to say that a long time ago, but couldn't. And finally got the opportunity.
But you know what really pisses me off the most about Kevin Owens? Kevin Owens is the guy. Him and Sami Zayn are the first 2 guys who, as soon as something happens, will jump on Twitter and be the finger waggers, if you will. Oh, how dare you do that? Oh, you're a scumbag. Oh, you're a piece of shit for doing that. They love wagging that finger. Motherfucker, we're all wagging our fingers at you. What kind of a piece of shit are you?
Yep.
And I do think it's funny that AEW actually took action and is like, we're going to keep Excalibur off air. But the WWE is just like, no, give him his own segment.
Like he needs one.
Yeah. No, we got to spotlight this motherfucker.
Incredible. I didn't watch Raw, so I don't know what he said. Honestly, we can skip past it because I don't give a fuck.
Basically, he was talking about his guest, brought up the return of Shane McMahon, but his microphone cut out. He did eventually introduce Ruby Riott, who discussed her recent wins over the Iconics before saying she wished Liv Morgan had been there to celebrate. Owens produced the former Riott Squad teammate who had a little patience for a former partner. Owens talked them up, putting over their friendship and admitting that he made many mistakes regarding former partners and friendships. If it was worth it. So he implored Morgan to listen to Riott.
I laughed because that was his apology.
Yeah. That was his apology. That was his half-assed apology. Eventually, they did work out their differences, and the Iconics came out to jump them. This turned into an impromptu match where Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan got the win over the Iconics. They're reunited. Kevin Owens, I guess, is all forgiven. Do you forgive him? That this should be enough to forgive him, right?
Yeah, fuck it. He's done well. Fuck it.
Fuck it. He might as well be in Wu-Tang Clan now.
Right.
He's back on the barbecue. Okay, so Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton come face to face.
Swerve, do you care about this match?
Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton at SummerSlam?
Yeah.
It's probably the highest profile one they're going to have.
Yeah.
Since they're not doing, Sasha and Bayley.
One of the things that McIntyre... I'm sorry.
Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just recounting one of the parts of this promo.
I was going to say, Randy Orton's going to go out there. I mean, he's not winning the title, so he's going to go out there and go through the motions and, get his check.
Isn't it crazy that he's had a good program with Edge? Well, to some people, I think was decent.
Because he wants to.
Right, but then he could just simply go to being accused of going through the motions.
Well, I mean, we
out of here.
Dylan strikes me as somebody who works when he wants to.
He's the Randy Moss.
If he's not feeling, go on.
It was different when he was younger. Like, I wouldn't say that, but now, I mean, he's like what, early 40s maybe? Yeah, he's just out there, he's coasting.
It just feels like if he doesn't believe in the program, if he doesn't believe in the storyline, he just gets through it to get to the next one. So one of the things that was brought up in the promo was McIntyre recalled the Last Ride documentary and Orton telling the story during the documentary of The Undertaker reaching down and pulling Randy Orton up to his level. And McIntyre asked Orton when the last time he ever reached down and pulled anyone up to his level was. Basically, McIntyre said that he's a selfish prick that's going to get his head kicked off at SummerSlam.
Someone said this should be called the Out of Nowhere match because of the Claymore and RKO.
You know what? After having that, what's that thing called? Swamp or whatever? I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't do it.
The eye for an eye, the Claymore versus RKO. Nia Jax suspended indefinitely.
Pretty sure you got right off that.
I was wishing it was shoot. Basically, she put her hands on producer Pat Buck last week. Nia Jax stood in the center of the ring with their former wrestler and denounced the idea of an apology. Instead, she challenged Buck to a match. She, quote, bullied him, refusing to take his no for an answer. He then indefinitely suspended Nia Jax without pay. She headbutted Pat Buck to the mat and then kicked him out of the ring, her frustration and anger boiling over. Then, despite being suddenly suspended, her music played and she made her way to the back. I play her music. that didn't make sense.
Well, when you're getting fired and kicked out of the office, they play music for you.
Yeah, the Na 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 song.
Yeah, right. Who are they building Nia Jax up for?
I mean, I'm assuming the emergency room.
They're building her up for the next male wrestler that's trying to leave.
Yes. The next Dean Ambrose who gets a little too mouthy.
Leave Nia alone, man.
Listen, instead of my man Teddy Long saying one-on-one with The Undertaker is one-on-one with Nia Jax.
that could be a death sentence. So the next thing that we had was a triple threat match for the 24/7 championship. Doesn't really make sense, seeing as how, it's a 24/7 championship. But still, Shelton Benjamin defending against Akira Tozawa and R-Truth. The match ended when Akira Tozawa pinned R-Truth and won the belt. Is the belt officially dead when you're booking matches with it?
I thought Shelton had it last. I can't keep up.
Yeah, he did. He was in this. This.
I'm sorry. These noises outside keep distracting me.
But yeah, Akira Tozawa is now the champ. I feel like the whole mystique or the whole novelty of it being 24/7 wears off when you start booking matches. Like, it shouldn't be a triple threat. It should just be him running
They could try and make it something. I don't know.
I'm sorry. There's a woman outside, and it sounds like she's practicing for a haunted fucking house.
What?
She's just screaming frantically.
Mommy, Jannetty's after me.
Maybe it's the same woman from Swerve's place. Swerve, you sit there over here, dog.
Hey, listen. She ain't got far to walk. That's all I'm saying. Because I definitely don't hear her over here no more.
Yeah, she over here just going. It's like she's taking 2-second intervals, and she's been doing it for a minute. So I don't know. But what we talking about?
Akira Tozawa winning the 24/7 championship.
I mean, yeah, the belt's dead. The belt was dead when Rob gave it back. I mean, it was dead when he had it, but I don't know what type of plans they had. But excuse me, the WWE acted like they had real plans for it. But because he went back to the NFL, he had to drop it for whatever reason they made up. I don't know, but yeah, it's dead. Now dead.
The next thing that we had was Shayna Baszler taking on Sasha Banks. This ended in a no contest when it was just, double disqualification. With the whole thing with Asuka and Bayley getting involved. I don't know. It's kind of stupid to me. After the match, Sasha Banks told Asuka that she would get a title shot at her if she beats Bayley next week. I don't know why she just doesn't go for Bayley's belt, but that's what we got. Moving on to the main attraction, I guess. Not main event, but main attraction. Raw Underground.
Let's get to it.
Yeah.
So, my favorite thing about this was Rusev's tweet. Because he brought up the fact that Vince McMahon openly stated that he wants to build new stars. And Rusev's like, wants to build new stars, Shane's back. Makes sense. So Shane McMahon introduces the debut of Raw Underground, which is, quote, shoot fighting in a dingy warehouse with poor lighting and strippers.
I didn't see the strip.
Somebody say blood sport.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Oh, come on, man. AEW did this. Y'all will be all over it.
I don't know. Anyway,
a lot of people love it.
The wrestler formerly known as Baba Tunde in NXT debuted as Daba Kato and bulldozed not one but 2 plates of ham and eggs.
No seconds.
And then McMahon declared his night over and said Raw Underground would return later. And it did, with the Viking Raiders. Oh, I'm sorry, Eric of the Viking Raiders bowling over his portion of ham and eggs. So basically, this is just dingy squash matches.
Well, I'm here to tell you what it's going to lead to. Because at the end of the night, you saw the faction that was standing tall in the center of all of this, correct?
Yes.
Now, Swerve, brace yourself, okay? I've got a real nice prediction that I think is going to come true. You ready for this?
Give it to me.
This is nothing more than a setup for a match that we've all been waiting for. Or at least Swerve has. It is going to be. No, I'm for real. This is going to be a bare knuckle brawlish, UFC-ish type of match between my man Bobby Lashley and yours truly. I don't want to say it because my throat gonna get fucked up. Brock Lesnar.
Hot dog.
This is what we're setting up.
You think so, huh?
Oh,
when do we pull the trigger on this?
I wanted to say SummerSlam, but it's too soon. This is a SummerSlam type of match, though.
Survivor Series?
No, I'll say the pay-per-view after SummerSlam. Because you don't. Who cares about coming back for one of the 4 big ones anymore? I think Brock doesn't care about that. As long as the money's right and the situation's right and the travel's right, he's there.
Well, Heyman won't be there.
Well,
They go together like, Dame and Hove.
of course they do. Peaches and Herb. For sure. That's a for sure right on. But Paul wasn't there for the UFC days. He wasn't in Brock's corner.
Not visibly, I think he was around.
I think that's what we're getting now. I think they're gonna have Brock show up in shackles, like the merchant.
So shut up, dude. Now you talking about a Batman opening sequence with Joker bringing out some big galoot. he gotta fight. He gotta fight him to get to Joker. Oh boy!
I'm just saying they're gonna say, "Who the hell is this?" And they're gonna take the joint off his head, and it's gonna be Brock. And I'm gonna pop.
I feel like they're gonna do everything you just said, right? But they're gonna insert hiding right with Brock Lesnar.
High done right.
Because Brock is gonna decline that.
I like to pull my man name about out the back seat.
Yeah, man, I found a quarterback there too.
I hear you, bro. But yeah, that's what I think we're getting. As Charles Barkley once said, I may be wrong, but I doubt it. Do you guys have anything else for Raw?
Well, we got a couple more things going on. Well, we had, let's see, Dominic attack Seth Rollins.
Oh yes.
Ooh.
So we're getting Seth Rollins against Dominic Mysterio at SummerSlam, 15 years after Dominic custody on a pole match.
I have a prediction for this match, but I'm gonna save it.
Okay. And then, of course, the Hurt Business showed up on Underground. So, any other thoughts this week in wrestling?
No, Jannetty took the cake for me.
Yeah, the Jannetty news was I don't know. That took the cake like Swerve said.
Okay, well then lead us out.
We don't have anything from Avi or UAP?
Let me check the email.
You know, he did send something that was for yesterday, but I done lost it because we've been texting since then.
Let me check to see if he sent in the email.
Oh, I got it actually.
Okay, yeah, because I don't have it in the email.
It wasn't too many messages after that. So he says, question for the show. Last week's discussion on glizzies got me thinking.
Yeah.
What's your favorite kind of meat to put in your mouth?
Come on, man.
Me, I'm a fan of a thick and girthy New York strip off the cast iron pan.
I was about
Am I
to
gonna have to start this?
say deleted. Oh man.
I mean, everybody knows my favorite meat is chicken. So give me a chicken wing, I'm good.
So take a look at the text, y'all. I would have got booted off the podcast. They would have been looking at me funny.
Bacon for me.
Bacon?
Yeah.
That's not really a meat. That's more like a, something you add to the meat.
It comes from an animal. It's pig.
I want to say chicken too, but I don't want to take your answer. I do enjoy a nice rib. Fish too is good. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with rib.
Okay, if I can't say bacon, I'm gonna say crab legs.
That's not really a meat, but okay.
Are you eating crab legs from Red Lobster, bro?
I will. I will.
Is that your recommended place for crab legs, bro?
No.
God damn.
Dude, what the fuck is going on in the background?
Yeah, that's like way on Main Street, but it sounds so close, right? Crazy.
Drew, you gotta get your compression underwear out the bunch, big dog. You be all right.
No, my go-to place for crab legs is Boston Hotel Steak and Lobster.
Good man. I've heard great things about them. I've just never been.
Shit's really good. It looks kind of shitty on the inside of the place, but man, the food is good.
Yeah, it sure does. It looks terrible outside and in. you be questioning where the food came from. They just
Yeah,
bring
but
it.
when you get that food, you're like, oh, okay. Cash only though.
Yeah. I definitely wanna try them.
Okay, on that, is there anything else that we got?
No, that's it. Just we'll be back next week. We'll get into some more of the gaming news that is being released. Because I know we all like to dabble and talk crap about which console is superior, which features are superior.
PlayStation.
And maybe we'll have a date announced for the next whatchamacallit event.
Or a price.
That's what I'm saying. We'll see though. But for myself, my name is Total Mac, aka TBD Mac, aka Sick Flair. That is Swervy Lee, aka Two Self Swerve, aka Swervy Atmos, aka Swollen Pal, FKA Yoko Tuna. And that is No Chill Drew, aka EGB, aka the Applebee's Don, aka this has been a retro No Pyro podcast production. We used to come on Wednesdays, switch to Tuesday. We on Wednesday. Watch Dynamite. We're gonna break it down next week, and then we're gonna talk about Raw, SmackDown, and everything else in between. So y'all have a blessed night. Y'all stay lovely, and we out this bitch like a deadbeat. Deuces.